two baby daddies usually have some sort of mental illness.
Oh, really?
I do believe, Tiffany Haddish, that women that has multiple baby daddies, multiples, have some type of mental illness. But a lot of her reasons I disagree with. A lot of women that has multiple baby daddies, a lot of it is just out of circumstance. It's just that they met someone, they fell in love with them, and they found out they wasn't the one. Because you never know how a person may break up. The father might have left because he wasn't ready to be a daddy, and she had to move on. But when you deal with certain women that is just having babies and just sleeping around to be sleeping around, and they got all these babies and different babies' daddies, that is something else. That is a woman that has mental illness. If you are a woman that has low self-esteem and you are still leading and running your life by old past trauma and the things that you've been with, and you just having random sex with different guys, and you are easily to fall in love, and you having all these, that is a mental illness. But when you are a woman and you just so happen to get pregnant by the wrong guy because you thought he was in love with you, or he love bombed you, and now you got to move on, it's something different. So I think Tiffany Haddish was talking about one set of women, because you got a lot of women that have multiple baby daddies and multiple different men, and they got their shit together. They got it together. You got some women that have multiple baby daddies and multiple children, and they are struggling. So I think it's not really a mental illness. I think we as human beings has to understand that the way we make choices in our lives, the way we live our lives, the majority of the time, the choices that we make in our lives and the way that we are living our lives is based on trauma. We are consciously living our lives in survival mode. Because if you know that you was abused as a child growing up, that is always going to stick with you. That is a trauma. So you're going to be against people abusing people. You might even raise your kids to so you don't even want to beat your kids. You might be sensitive when you see people around you just getting beaten or somebody hit another person. You might be deeply against physical abuse because of the trauma that you went through. And you might base your personal decisions and what you and how you live your life based on the fact that you were beaten. You understand? So this is how they tell us stop living in survival mode. Because if you are a woman that never had a father in your life and you need to be loved, you are already traumatized because you need that male figure. But you don't need a daddy. You need a man that can help you be a better woman if that's what you need. But you so traumatized, you would do anything to get untraumatized. So you're gonna fall in love with a man easily because he's giving you that security and that love. And meanwhile, he could be playing you. That is a mental illness because you are basing your choices off of trauma. You're not basing your choice off of what you need as a woman. You're basing your needs off what you need as that little girl that was lacking. That is trauma because you are still in survival mode as if you were a child. See, we have to understand what trauma base is and what's not. You got a lot of people right now that is not living in their trauma, and you got a lot of people do. And a lot of people that tends to live in their trauma, they tend to live more harsh lives because they are not living their lives for what it is now. They are not looking at their lives for what it is now. They're looking at their lives for what it was to make sure that it would never happen again. So they are living in survival mode. If you get a divorce from your husband and you get a new husband, you are going to try to do everything correct this time. You're not going to try to make none of those mistakes that you made with the last husband. And meanwhile, your new husband don't really give a damn if you make those mistakes. And meanwhile, you in survival mode with your new marriage. You on your P's and Q's trying to keep this husband married because of the trauma you went through with this. When meanwhile, this husband don't even give a fuck about what you did in your last. That's why he love you. Because you are you. And meanwhile, you are surviving a marriage. This is why they tell us to not live in survival mode. It's not about living, because I still live in survival mode. It's not about living in survival mode so you won't be able to survive. You won't be smart. It's just that take the trauma that you have lived through. Work through your trauma. Work through everything that is hindering you. Work through everything that is hindering you from living. Work through everything that is hindering you from living your best life. Take all those people and places and things that did you wrong and caused you harm and caused you to be and feel the way that you do. It was done for a reason, so you won't live your best life. So now, it's not us to forgive those people that harmed us, but you got to understand and know why they did it. Because you're going to get a lot of unapologies. Everybody is not going to apologize to you. You is not going to get closure. It's up to you to close it yourself. And the way that you close it yourself is getting out of the trauma. It's getting out of the misery. It's getting out of the depression. It's getting out of the feeling that these people, places, and these things done to you. It's out of you to get out of that. It's out of you to break out that firmament of disaster and misery. You are the one that can break out of the firmament of that. And this is what I am trying to do right now. I am trying to get over my old trauma of being afraid, of being of having low self-esteem for myself, of being insecure, of being afraid to speak my truth because of other. I'm breaking out of my own firmament to where though I want to live in a world where though I be completely free. And in order for you to know what type of world you are living in, you got to be completely free of it. Because as you notice that you are becoming completely free in the world, you're going to realize that this world don't want you free. You're going to realize this world don't want you to elevate. And that's when you're going to realize that you was actually kept down there because of where you are now. We got to go up in order to look down. If you are already down, all you can do is look around. If you are down, all you can do is look around. But if you was up, you can look down and look all around and see all things. And right now, we are stuck in a 3D dimensional world where all we can do is look around. But as we grow and elevate and evolve within ourselves, you're going to get higher in consciousness until you're going to be, and one day you're going to be looking like this till you able to look like that. To where though you can discern more better. You can think more better because you can see things at a greater vision. And that's the only thing that is different between the 3D and the 5D dimensional people. The 5D dimensional people just got a better vision of what it is. The 3D dimensional people only see it from the front angle. As you elevate to a higher frequency, you're gonna see all things in a better view, in a better vision. That's all that it is. And this is why they're trying to stop you from awakening, you from stop to want to be more aware and learning who you are and where you are. They don't want you to elevate because they know that your consciousness is going to rise. And if your consciousness rises, eventually you're going to see who they are. That's it. And once you see who they are, it's nothing they can do to you because you already know who they are. And you know what they have been doing to you and all your people because your consciousness is heightened and aware enough till you can see everything now. You can see why you went to school and they didn't teach you the truth. You can see why you need a government. You can see all these things because you're going to realize that you was in full under controlment. And it took you to learn yourself and grow in yourself. And now you have control in yourself till you can see how people is under control. And then you can look up and you can see how they are being under control with the government, with the systems, with all of these. Then you are breaking out of the firmament. You are breaking out of the illusion. Now, we have a firmament over us on this planet. But that is a physical simulation of the spiritual. Because we all have a firmament around us that is hovering us from our real truth. It's up to us. The more we grow, we're going to break out of that firmament. And you are going to be free, living in a world that was designed to control you. This is how you're going to know that you have awakened. You understand? So, we got to go out of the element, people. Go out the element for a second.